Hey, so it's Monday, January 23rd. It's about 11:39 a.m. I was gonna switch cameras because this one's got a lot of ghosting issues, you know. Um, but I decided I wasn't gonna take the time to do it. Got to go to work at 1:30, so I don't have a whole lot of time left. But I thought I'd kind of, throw something else out there real quick. It's kind of unrelated, so it was kind of considered a new video. I was sitting here and it dawned on me that I haven't read this book in a long time. I've got some newer copies that I've read, but this is the original paperback version of the Star Wars trilogy. And down here in the bottom it says the year's best movie. This came out in 1977. This is the cover. This is the exact book. And it's not in the greatest of condition. You can kind of see that it's been, a little dog-eared through the years, sitting on a shelf funny, or sitting in a box funny, or whatever. It's not meant, so it's not a collector's item by any means. Nobody's gonna show up and beat down my door and try to steal it, and no collector's gonna offer me $10,000 for this thing. Um, I don't know if any of them would go for 10,000, but I'm just saying, nobody's going to show up and offer me a bunch of money for this. But considering that I was, 9 years old when this movie came out, and this was my book, I was 9 when I got it, and it somehow survived my childhood and my adolescent years, and then has stayed with me. Now think about this, okay? This didn't just sit on a shelf, okay? It didn't just sit on a shelf somewhere and live a happy life collecting dust. This thing got packed up from my household goods, right? It stayed home, with this furniture, this stuff right here. From it probably sat in my bed in the bookcase headboard. During the early years that I was in the service, 88 to whatever. And then when I got married in about, 93, this started traveling with me. So we had a couple of different apartments in the San Diego area. We met in Long Beach, and then the ship transferred to San Diego. I proposed in Dallas, after a George Strait concert. While I was home on vacation, and went back to San Diego, and my wife went up to Long Beach and proposed here in Dallas. We're in Wichita Falls now, so we proposed here in Dallas, in Texas. Went back to California, and started making plans for the wedding and whatnot. And then soon after we got married, this book and the rest of my household goods and such, which includes several books, made the journey to our house. And then it traveled through several apartments in the San Diego area, and then Illinois, Hawaii, and in each of these places, we didn't just have one place. And we moved there, and essentially started in Illinois in a creepy neighborhood where there was a drug dealer next door, and I almost got shot one day because I ran out there and they were playing, music that had cuss words and stuff, and I had, 2 little kids. Travis was young and impressionable, and I was like, "Hey, shut that off," I said, "Turn it down, shut it off, so I can talk to you." And then the next thing was, "Okay, listen, you can turn the radio on. Radio. I don't want to hear the cuss words around my kids. All right? I don't care if you play the music. I don't care. You can listen to whatever you want. It's free country. But the stuff that has the language in it, don't play it around my house. Don't play it around my kids. Cool?" And they were mad. I mean, and I actually heard clicking, and I was like, I'm fixing to get shot here. But, somebody decided that, okay, I wasn't telling them that they couldn't play their music. I was telling them that I didn't want to hear the language. And somebody went, all right, let's just respect him. And so they did. And so every time I saw him after that, we waved, and that was the end of that. But in fact, they turned the radio down, which wasn't what I was asking for. But anyway, so we lived there, and this book probably sat in the basement, and I didn't think anything about it being, you know, something that may one day be nostalgic, you know. And it's not alone. I've actually got the entire trilogy. I'm not sure where the other one is at this moment. It's probably in a box. But this one is Return of the Jedi. And again, this one is the original. You know, and it's been read a couple of times. You can see the cracks on the spine. And then it moved to at least 2 places in Hawaii, and then 3 different places in Florida, and I think 5 different places here in Wichita Falls. So it hasn't just sat on a shelf. It's seen a good part of the United States, and it just, you know, it just kind of struck me as funny. I'm sitting there and it's like, wow, that book has survived pretty well. So it's kind of interesting. And there's a couple more, but I won't get into all that. Well, I'll show you one other one, and it's this one, and it didn't survive as well. I got this one when I was actually younger than the other one, and you can see where I kind of chewed it up a smidge. You know, there's a little bit of chewing there, and I wouldn't call it a gnawing. It was just more of a and I have no idea why. But anyway, and I don't know if I did it or one of my sisters did. Doesn't matter. That's what kids do. They put stuff in their mouth. And this one, you can see how, and I'm trying not to open it too much, but you can see how yellow the pages are. This is legit old. And it's copyright 62, 63, 64, and 65. And I was born in 68. So this is probably a slightly older book that was given to me when I was young. And you can see it's not a collector's item at all. There's little, for some dumb reason, there's black crayon on a lot of these frames, and I don't know why. But again, that's a young child, you know. And there it is. So it would never go for any kind of money. Don't know what happened here. Trying to draw, I guess. I don't know. Something. And then, you know, luckily, or fortunately, or, you know, it doesn't extend to the rest of the book. So maybe my mom or grandma or somebody rescued the book from me, and then and there it is, a 1965 copy of It's For You, Snoopy, along with my 77 copy of Star Wars. So there's a few others around, but you know, none of them are collector's items. It's just neat to me. It's nostalgic that stuff survived all these different moves, and it's still with me. I can look back at it and go, that's mine.